here with Pastor Mark Hafner at Grace Baptist Church. Thank you so much for your time and for all your help on everything
You're welcome.
you're doing. It's been awesome to us. Today we're going to be asking him some questions and getting your feedback on the tower. So let's go ahead and get started.
Sounds good.
Cohort Z is a group of young men that started with two guys, came into my office and wanted to be equipped, trained to be elder quality men. And so we talked about what is an elder quality man, and an elder quality man is somebody who works in community with others. And so the idea was, if you want to be elder quality men, you've got to mentor other people. So they gathered a group of young guys, and before you knew it, we had 5, and then we had 15, and now we've got about 20 that are in and out of our Cohort Z group.
Because about a year ago, we decided that we needed to take on something to kind of help the community and disciple people. We decided on the Grow Tower because it was near here, and it was a new technology that could help lots of people.
This group of guys are trying to be ambassadors for the gospel of Jesus Christ through service projects to other people. And that's how we got to the Growth Tower, was how could we as a group of young men reach out to the community around us, and specifically, how do we reach the elderly? And so if you think about what's going on with elderly people in the wintertime, shut in, people who love gardening, people who love to see things grow. They just get a lot of life out of seeing things coming from the ground and turning into fruits and vegetables and pretty flowers and all kinds of things.
I feel like it's a pretty big decision. Like I haven't made those huge decisions like that really. Like going to a retirement home and helping somebody like this whole thing's been a pretty big process. But I feel like I like it. I like to help people. I like to see them smile and put it together.
Yeah, what I would say is, first of all, just a work ethic. The tower is the result of a whole lot of work, and we can talk about that work. But the Grow Tower is something that is not only work that they did to obtain a Grow Tower, but watching the process that you've gone through in the development of the Grow Towers and all of the work that it's taken to get to this iteration of Grow Towers. And even now, you're way beyond where we're at with this one. And so they're beginning to learn a work ethic. And so I think that's really important. The other thing is just electronics, mathematics. They're learning about components. They're learning about all kinds of ways things are wired and connected. They're learning about software and hardware. All of those things are just incredibly important for young men and women to learn about. So it's been really helpful in just a lot of ways. And then studying things from hydroponics to aquaponics to all of those things are terms and words and ideas that until the Grow Tower came into their life, they hadn't even thought about. The idea of what does it take to run a company. Eden is your guys' company, but Grow Z is our taking your product and using it as a way of ministering to other people. But you can't just walk in and do something like that in the world in which we live. And so you have to have some kind of backing around you, some kind of structure. And that requires people who are going to advertise, people who are going to take care of money, people who are going to be responsible for caring for building. And so getting these young men into a process of developing what would be the equivalent of a company has been an amazing process for them. So then being diligent to edit their work, to speak clearly, to know the product inside and out so that they can actually explain it to somebody who they would want to put it in their home. So there's been a number of challenges that way. And then once you get over the idea and it becomes now work, when you're in junior high, developing a work ethic is not the easiest thing in the world. So what I've had to do is tell the men in our church who are working with these young guys to quit doing it. If it fails, they need to learn from their failures. If they don't pay attention and something happens, then they have to learn from not paying attention. And we live in a world where everybody tries to make everybody successful, so nobody ever has to be responsible for anything. And so these young men are responsible for everything that happens here. So they raised the money, they put it together, they broke it, they had to pay to get it fixed. It's on them.
It's kind of going slower than I thought it would, but that's what's happening in my brain. I put it all together. My brain is like, we're gonna raise money real quick. That was a little slower, obviously. A lot more work than I thought it would be. I really just thought like lemonade stands and stuff. And when you put it together, it was definitely, of course, complications, which I don't know why, but I didn't think it was gonna be a complication. I thought it was gonna be smooth. But I mean, that's how these things work, and I definitely thought this would be a lot more smooth, but I like the bumps in the road. It brings us together more, and we can talk about it more.
Probably one of the most beneficial parts of the process of buying a grow tower was that these young men, they split firewood, they mowed lawns, they painted a house, they did all kinds of community service, and then just asked for donations to the Grow Tower project. So they did all that work for free, and then just took whatever donations came in, and that's what actually purchased the Grow Tower. And so these young men, oftentimes somebody would make a donation if they would go and help somebody else in the name of the person who made the donation. And so it's become a really good experience of just trusting that the Lord is going to take a work for somebody, and it's going to have a comeback, if you will, in resource that they're using for the growth towers. And so they're about ready, I think, to buy another one. Part of the vision for the growth tower is, in our church, we have a number of senior citizens. So our goal is to connect the elderly to young people, to bridge that generational gap. And so the Grow Tower actually becomes a tool for connecting the elderly to young men. And as we get Grow Towers into each of our senior citizens' homes and learn how to service our elderly people here in our church with Grow Towers, then the vision is to start seeing them be taken to nursing homes. We would love to see every nursing home here in the Columbia Gorge area have Grow Towers in them, that our young men are going in and meeting with the elderly people there and seeing things grow.
I'm excited to see us put it in senior homes and just like share the gospel with them and put it and just like build more of them and just share food with other people. So I'm excited for that.
I just like seeing all the plants grow. Like, just as everything you worked for and you planted it, and now it's finally working.
Probably basil, cause I really like pasta. So yeah.
To be diligent in your work and learn about it all that you can.
What would you like to share with other teachers or leaders who would like to do the same thing you were doing? So knowing that we would love to be able to replicate your program forever across the planet, what would be that nugget, that solid thing that you really want to share with them?
One of the amazing things in working with young men is the discovery of what they really can learn, what they really can do when they're given a framework in which to do it. I would love to see groups of people create environments where young people can develop their own companies, their own businesses, where they can work in teams, they can collaborate, and in doing so, learn the kinds of skills that are necessary to be a productive person in the world in which we live. People who innovate, build things, people who can take their God-given gifts, talents, and abilities and apply them to things that help people. And so I think it's a good thing when we take the time to let young people work together in team and provide an environment in which they can be successful.
Anything else that you would like to add or share, or any feedback about the tower?
Feedback on the tower. It's really nice. I like the Eden Grow. I thought it was just gonna be like a silver tower, as you showed in the pictures and stuff, but it is really nice looking. I like the black and the lights and everything. I think that's super cool.
Awesome.